Hello, abnormal family. It's us again, and y'all are right. There is no I in team. We are a team. We work together, and I'm proud of that. It's good to see y'all again. I'm going to put out a fast one tonight before we have our live. Thank goodness one of the people that helped me out behind the scenes, Cassie, reminded me it's not the 15th. The live is the 17th. So make sure that you get ready, or you can go to the channel that I'm on, click on live under the videos where it says videos all, click live, click that video, and then click notify. I wouldn't count on it, but it may help. A lot of you's been asking where's Kaylee, why ain't she been in them. Kaylee's quit again, so that's where she's at. It's just me right now, and I got like 2-3 people right now that's helping me behind the scenes, so that's helping out a whole lot. They're very good at what they do. They're very good investigators, and they're keeping me busy. We got a podcast tomorrow and another podcast lined up, and I spoke to a guy today. I could not believe he reached out to me. I have the utmost respect for, and we're talking right now and working out a live stream, which will be a podcast. And you guys, I think, will be very surprised you asked me to join them. I was humbled. Yeah, it's great, guys. Our channel's doing great. Thanks to you guys and everything we're doing. We're all working together. We're coming up with a lot of things that people are interested in, guys. And we're getting a lot of things answered in our comments and everything. If I don't answer every comment, guys, the channel's grown so much. I'm trying. And if I come down through there, even if I just give you a heart, I'm looking, I'm reading. I just can't type on every one of them. So don't take that as I'm ignoring you. I do read each and every one of them, I promise. I have a thing I go through, and when I read them, that deletes each one, and I make sure I read each and every one. Y'all are all equally important to me. Alright, guys. We're going to talk about Mr. Travis Black. He is the CPW Northwest Region Manager up in Colorado at Meeker is the town. This is going to happen on the first quarter, which is where the moon is half half illuminated and the other half is unilluminated. The suspect is a wolf, but they have no evidence to support the hypothesis is what it is. Outcome deaths of 40 plus calves. Y'all are going to love this one. An investigation was launched by the Colorado Parks and Wildlife after 40 calves were killed in Meeker. Meeker, which is north of Glenwood Springs and southwest of Craig, is popular for its farming. Over the past few years, ranchers have reported wolf attacks among their livestock in the area. Now, what's important about this is they're reporting these attacks, but they're saying there's no wolves there. They've flown helicopters, they've used traps, they have looked for tracks, they have used infrared and baits and everything. No wolves. Trust me, if there was wolves in the area, you're going to find them doing that. I can go out here and find coyotes about any time you want to. One of the things that they didn't mention right off in the articles, and I had to do some really deep digging into a lot of the past articles and stuff, of these same people are having these troubles. They reported to the wildlife that some animals were only missing their organs, such as the liver, the eyes, and the blood. Following this incident, CPW and local ranchers believe that the number of calves killed there might be something else that could be causing this issue. The reason they were looking for something else is because the bite marks and the damage did not match anything they had seen. Everything they had on record at the veterinarians had seen, the investigators and everybody, did not match the attack criteria for which animal would have done it. They know, based on their expertise and what they do and their line of work and stuff, they have models, bite prints and all that, and they can pretty much tell what kind of animal, killed another animal. And whenever they're saying, none of this is matching up, I've never seen any of these things before, then they start wondering, okay, what do we got going on here? Investigations so far revealed 18 of the calves did have injuries from wolf depredation. After many efforts attempting to locate the wolves, CPW did not find further evidence of wolves in the area, using methods such as traps and surveillance cameras. Now, the word depredation that they're using here, it can mean a lot of different things. It can mean a trail of blood and hair that's often evident at a crime scene. It can mean where the animals were attacked and how they were attacked associate with a certain type of animal or breed of animal. But they're saying that they have wolf depredation, but they kind of contradicting themselves, because whenever we go down a little further, we're going to see that it doesn't quite fit their narrative, because they don't have any definitive evidence to be able to say this, and you're going to see why in just a second. The wildlife officials are attempting to reach out to the state veterinarian to determine the cause and the death of the calves. Okay, they did test the blood of these calves. While wolves were an early target to blame, the Parks and Wildlife Northwest Regional Director Travis Black said just a handful of the dead cattle have any signs that could be consistent with wolf attack. There was no sign of feeding, and they haven't found any evidence of wolves in the area. Now, Mr. Black is, I think he's starting to kind of doubt the wolf theory already. In fact, all the damages to the calves were not consistent, with the calves that could have been larger animal and canine type. Mr. Black is saying these bite marks and the damage that's done to these calves, they do not match, how a wolf would attack. They're not consistent. The bite marks are larger. They're canine type and they look similar, but they're a lot larger. And there's no way these are wolves. He's starting to, it's starting to go there. Initial reports from early October blamed wolves for the death of 18 calves on White River National Forest land where cattle were grazing, which, if confirmed, would have meant there was another wolf pack making a return to Colorado ahead of schedule. Black said the trail cameras, howling surveys, aerial flights haven't located any trace of wolves. He said, now you're going to love this, we don't even have any tracks of wolves in the area or around the kills. Which, if there's not mud, snow, rain, or anything like that, you're not going to have tracks. But there's going to be some evidence that they are moving through. There'll be scat or something like that. Rancher Lenny Klingsmith told the fence post on October 11th that 18 of those calves had trauma indicative of wolf pack killing. But Black said the investigation has only found injuries, some contusions, some hemorrhaging, and were somewhat consistent with wolf depredation on as many as 5 of the calves. Okay. He's starting to back off now. He's, you noticed up there, he's saying the bite marks were too big. And then whenever they get down into the investigation, Black says the injuries, some contusion, some hemorrhaging, and were somewhat consistent with wolf depredation. Now it's somewhat, or we're starting to lean away from that. He's getting really pushed by the people. Black stated that the injuries were more like slashes on the main arteries, and wolves do not do this. And they made Black not want to blame wolves at this time. Okay, he said they're getting slashes now, like long fingernails, something very sharp. It is actually cutting the arteries on the insides of these cows' back legs, bleeding them out. So whatever this is, it's cutting their legs, it's cutting their throats, and it's probably drinking the blood, if you really want to get down to it. As more cattle were gathered from the range, Black said more were found dead, though of the 40 show signs of wolf killings, there was no sign of wolves feeding on none of the dead animals. Even after all the animals they tested that were dead and everything, they took DNA samples and all that kind of stuff, blood work, there was no DNA that they recognized anyways, and definitely no DNA that was a wolf. They said they have no idea what is doing this. You're going to love this. A nearby rancher had the same problem. His cows were dropping dead and everything. Some of them were missing organs, some of them had their throats cut, some had their hind legs artery cut, some were gutted, but most of them, and out of he may have 100 cows dead, but only 7 of them is going to have these horrific, the horrific damage. But a lot of his cows, say 95 of them, they're just dead. So he went and paid out of pocket, and he had a necropsy done to find out, okay, why are my cows dying? This is important. This is my livelihood. It's how it's how they make money. A lot of ranchers around here make money that way. Their findings, I thought, were very, very important. The cows had their necks broken from a twisting motion. Now he says they might have been trying to maybe blame it on a fence or a feeder or something like that, but they were killed, he said, out in the middle of an open field on 500 acres. There wasn't nothing around them. Necks twisted around, 90 of them. 5 of them were slaughtered, gutted, organs missing, and eyeballs, stuff like that. Rest of them probably killed just for fun or the sport of it, and they ate what they wanted out of the 5, I guess. Something, you know. Black said they consulted with the veterinarian to see if there was a health component causing the death, such as Clostridium bacteria, which he said can be exacerbated by the presence of wolves. But reviews by the Colorado State University of Texas A&M University tested all the animals and did not turn up any evidence of the bacteria, and the bacteria was not present in any of the deaths. Black said, quote, "We're scratching our heads," unquote. There's something really weird going on, guys. Quote, "What we're lacking in the Meeker case, in my opinion, is that typical feeding behavior that we would see. Typically, wolves would come back to feed on a carcass," Black said. "This appears to be larger predator killing for the organs rich in vitamins and minerals for strength and stamina." Travis Black now released a statement saying there is no evidence. Okay, this statement was just released after he made that statement there, that they are eating the organs out of these animals because that's where most nutrients, vitamins, and all that is for strength and stamina. It would be the best parts of the animal to eat. Then he came back and his final release was, Travis Black now released a statement saying there is no evidence that wolves are responsible and it just don't add up. I don't know what is killing these cows. We are scratching our heads. Something's going on in Colorado, guys. There's something up there killing cows. Let's watch and see how long this lasts. If I'm guessing, I would say it's probably going to pass. I bet it's a clan passing through. If it continues to happen, you can bet that a rancher or somebody's going to take care of it and it's going to disappear. But I'll bet you that this is probably going to stop on its own. The fall, winter's coming up. It's migration time. They're stocking up on food. They know winter's coming. They're saying it's going to be a hard winter, and we are getting some pretty cold nights, colder than we did last year around this area. I don't know about up there, but they probably are, and I know Colorado has some harsh winters, so it's probably everything preparing for the winter ahead. So I would caution everybody to be safe, be careful, watch your kids, your pets, and just be careful. Now, the last thing I want to end on is I'm talking to somebody, and if this podcast comes together, I am very, very, very excited about doing it. Y'all love the stories about my grannies, right? I finally found somebody that is close to where my granny lived, and they're just across the lake, and they've had some pretty crazy encounters, and I want to try to get them to do a podcast. I'm excited for this one just to see if she had some of the same encounters that my granny had, to be able to share some things with her. But anytime it's close like that, somebody steps out, it's really interesting to me because I know what we went through, and I want to see if they were kind of going through the same thing at that time. A lot of this happened in the 80s, I think. So some of it will be back whenever I was down there and my granny was there. And so it's going to be really interesting, and I look forward to doing that podcast. Should be coming up pretty soon. Until then, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Be careful, and make sure you're not on the menu, especially not on the special.